Instances of the arpeggiator nested inside the Combinator can be configured in the same manner as synth modules. So you can have a split arpeggiator patch or a layered arpeggiator patch. And the possibilities get really interesting when you start combining several different pattern generators in one Combinator patch. So here, I'm going to demonstrate the development of a fairly complicated multi-layered, multi-arpeggiator patch. Since this is going to be a layered patch, I have the line mixer inserted at the top and cabled into the Combinator. So we'll start by creating an instrument. I'll go to the contextual menu and select Create Instrument. And I'm going to go into the factory sound bank, and we'll start by selecting a subtractor patch. Go in here, select Bloom Pad. Then I'm going to create an arpeggiator. Drag that into there. Make sure everything is cabled. There it is. Take a listen. Let's make that 4 octaves. And let's add a reverb to that. RV7000, and we'll load a patch. Let's load this 4th delay verb. Adjust the dry wet value. There's the double event hit, so I've got to go into the programmer and disable received notes. Have that set. That sounds right. Now let's add another layer. And I'll go and create another instrument. We'll select the next patch, board pads. It's a nice layer. I'm going to make a few adjustments to that patch. I'm going to create a RV7 reverb, adjust the dry wet. I'll go up and adjust the level on that second pad sound. I'm not going to drive this with an arpeggiator. I'm just going to leave it static because I like the way that's sounding. All right, next I'm going to choose a sample instrument here. Let's go and create an NXT Advanced Sampler. Then I'm going to load a patch up. And let's add a grand piano. And I'm also going to drive this with an arpeggiator. So I'll drag the arpeggiate into the combi subrack. Double check. Yep, that's connected. I'm going to change this rate to quarter notes. Let's hit 2 octaves. Set the pattern to down. So I'm going to have a different pattern from the subtractor being driven by the first arpeggiator. Now I want this to be in a different register, so I'm going to do an octave shift, adjust this down 1 octave, and then I also have to disable receive notes on the NXT. We can go back and take a listen. So far so good. Let's add some reverb to that. Double check. Audio out, going into the reverb. Change the dry wet value, increase the decay, increase the damping. Okay, let's add another sampled instrument. Just go to Create Instrument. I'm going to go into the Orchestra sound bank. Select VLN long. Also going to process this through some reverb. And then I'm going to drive this with an arpeggiator as well. Check all the connections. Go back up to the programmer. Find the NNXT2, disable receive notes. Scroll back down. So on Arpeggiator 3, I'm going to shift the register up an octave. I'm going to set the mode to up and down. I'm going to set the octave parameter to 2 octaves. And then I'm going to set the insert to 3-1. And then let me play it so you can hear. I'm going to make a slight modification to Arpeggiator 3. Normally, it's just a straight arpeggiator patch. It receives the notes and converts the CV gate note stream. This time I'm going to enable the pattern feature so I can program a variation of the events. So now these steps that I'm switching off will not be played in the arpeggiation pattern. So watch here. And you can hear how there are notes sort of skipping, and then the pattern resumes at every 16th note interval. Okay, so I'm going to make some modifications to the Arpeggiator 2, the one that's driving the grand piano patch. First, I'm going to take the velocity setting and switch it out of manual mode into a fixed value. That means the outgoing gate CV values will be fixed at a specific level. So we'll set this to about 60. And then I'm going to switch the mode from down to manual. Play this. And so here we have our complete multi-layered, multi-arpeggiator patch. I have one subtractor synthesizer being driven by an arpeggiator. I have one static pad sound. I have this piano being driven by an arpeggiator. And then I have the violins being driven by an arpeggiator. And altogether we have this layered arpeggiator and pad patch.